Hey y'all, welcome back to Andy's Little Homestead.
Make sure my skirt's not moving.
Today we're going to take about 300 pounds of dry goods and we're going to repackage them and seal them up to where they'll be good for 25 years. You making noises over there?
What? I don't do that.
Now, I know that kind of makes me sound like a crazy prepper, and I promise that I'm not, but I should explain how one thing led to another here. I saw these beautiful food grade locking lid metal barrels on Marketplace, and then I saved them, and then I was talking to my buddy Josh, and he was like, oh man, those are good, and you should probably get them, and I'm gonna get some too. So we went and got some, and then I thought, man, it'd be pretty cool if I could like fill these up with dry goods, non-perishables, and things like that. And then I started kind of going down the rabbit hole. One thing led to another, and well, here we are with 300 pounds of food, a pile of Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, and a whole bunch of nonsense about to happen. So let's get on with it.
Can't you just put all of it in the barrel like it is?
I'm glad you asked that. I could.
Then why not? Why are we doing all this work?
You see, the packaging that stuff comes in is, well, probably good enough if everything else is kept good enough. But what if the barrel leaks and you lose everything? That wouldn't be fun. It would be really not fun in a post-apocalyptic society after it's all been sealed up for 15 years. So that's what we're trying to avoid. Like I said, I don't necessarily consider myself a prepper. I just don't trust the government. None of them. Literally none of them. Anyway, so long story short, we want to get all this stuff repackaged because we want to make sure that it stays good. I mean, inherently it will stay good. They're all dry goods. That is, until moisture shows up. Or bugs. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to assembly line this. I'm gonna put stuff in bags, and then since my handwriting looks like, I don't know, I got Parkinson's or something, she's gonna make the pretty labels for them and get them all sealed up. It's a fun family activity. Can't you see how much fun my wife is having?
I'm about to read my book.
So first, we're gonna start with these giant 5-gallon bags. And in the 5-gallon bags, I'm gonna put things that once it's opened, it's really not that big of a deal that it, you know, has had access to oxygen. So things like flour, the rice, you know, big stuff.
Oh God.
Keep it together.
I'm trying.
So in each one of these Mylar bags, we're gonna be putting one of these little guys. They're oxygen absorbers. They absorb oxygen. There's higher quality ones that'll actually have an indicator as to whether or not they've had access to oxygen. We ain't operating on that kind of a budget. If we were, we'd buy the pre-made buckets at $6 a meal. We're not. Bloop. And now Carlos is gonna seal them up. They have both a zipper on there, but it also can seal up at the top. Now obviously a vacuum sealer would be ideal, but I don't have a vacuum sealer, and well, it's a really big freaking bag. So I convinced Carlos to take her hair straightener and bring it here, and we should be able to seal it up with that. The other thing that the Mylar bag protects against is weevils, which is a really fun word. Bloop. Yeah, we really don't know what we're doing.
I got it.
Kind of just figuring this out as we go. Okay, that actually worked pretty well. I think we're good. Of course, now that we're at the last bag of flour, we figured out a better way to do it.
We?
Well, I did, because I'm smart.
Are you suggesting I'm not?
Just write your pretty labels, bud.
You're so mean to me. I'm not gonna help you anymore.
But you gotta.
I don't have to.
You'll starve to death.
I will not.
You might. There you go.
You might. Ah! You didn't put your thingy in here.
I'm working on it.
Hurry up.
I wish you said that to me more often. Bloop. So now we got our flour all taken care of. Next thing on the list is 100 pounds of rice. There's all different kinds of rice. Any type of rice is good except for brown rice, because I guess it has a higher moisture content. So we're going with the regular white, because 50-pound bag was like 30 bucks, and it's extra fancy. It says so right there on the bag. I thought we were doing all red labels on the flour. You didn't want the labels to be the same color every single time?
I thought about it after
for
the
each
fact.
item?
I thought about it afterward, and it was too late. It's too late. I already put the label
So
on.
like 12 years from now, you're gonna have a real problem when we open this up.
I really don't think I'll care then.
One thing that oh, there you are. One thing that I forgot to mention. I'm glad you still laugh at my jokes. One thing that I forgot to mention, and I apologize for the background noise, we're actually running the air conditioning in here because it doesn't hurt to suck the moisture out of the room when you're loading the bags up. They're gonna get sealed, so you know, no water is good. Next thing on the list, we got the rice, so we might as well go full Dave Ramsey and get beans. All kinds of different beans. They're a good source of protein. They got some nutrients in them. I don't know what the nutrients are, but we got a bunch of them, about 65 pounds worth.
That's a lot of beans.
That's a lot of beans. And because variety is important even if society collapses, we got pintos. We got black beans. We got split green peas, which are honestly disgusting.
Why did you get those?
Because they're good for you. I assume if this is a thing that you enjoy, you have breakfast by putting beans on toast.
Ow.
Looking at you, England. Great Yankee beans. I don't know what's so great about them. And then black guy peas. I don't know why they're called that. That seems kind of racist. So let's bag them up.
So, in case of an apocalypse, you're sleeping outside.
How do you figure?
Beans.
In the case of an apocalypse, you're gonna smell just as bad as I am.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
I could never smell as bad as you.
I smell like success and freedom, self-reliance. Hey babe,
What?
I just spilled the beans.
Oh my god. You need help.
But also, can you clean that up?
Hey, look at that. Red beans. Should I use the red label for the red beans? Will that make you happy?
Babe, everything you does make me happy. You're the light of my life, and everything about you is good and wonderful.
Everything I does?
Yeah, it'd be like that. So Carlo's finishing up sealing the rest of the beans, and we're gonna go on to the rest of the stuff that's gonna go in our gallon bags. First thing,
A nap? Tell me it's a nap.
oats. They rhyme with goats, they're equally useless. Grits are way better, there's no argument. Cornmeal, sugar, ethnically diverse sugar, grits, God's own breakfast grain. So now we're down to the stuff that's gonna fit in quart bags, stuff that once it's opened, you probably wanna, get to using. Coffee, got 10 pounds of it. It's kind of a lot, but if money isn't worth anything, coffee definitely will be. And you can't live without coffee. If you're in a bad enough spot, a cup of coffee could be like the greatest thing in the world, and in fact, often is. So I think it's worth it. Powdered milk.
No, please.
From the most dehydrated cows in history. Black pepper, because you can't cure a ham without it. Baking powder, because you can't make biscuits without it. And Cajun seasoning, because the world could go completely crazy. There could be death and rioting in the streets. It's all worth living in, but not if you can't season food. My wife's all the way over there and she's getting sneezy from the pepper. Like some kind of freaking Tom and Jerry cartoon. I shouldn't laugh.
Is this funny for you?
It's a little bit funny for me, yeah.
Why are you throwing trash?
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Did you spill beans again?
Sure did. And there we go. Just like that, a couple hours work, we've got in the neighborhood of 450,000 calories. Ready to go. And it'll stay good indefinitely as long as we keep it stored properly. So I guess the next part of storing property is trying to Tetris these bad property. So the next part of storing these properly is trying to Tetris them. I'm having a hard time. Tetris them into a barrel. My wife's considerably better at Tetris than me, so.
If only you'd listen.
Why would I start now? All right, so the last thing that we're going to do is inside the barrel. I got a giant thing of silica gel. It's a desiccant. And that'll absorb any water vapor that ends up, you know, inside the barrel that could possibly rust it out in 20 years or something. I don't know. They're cheap. Might as well put it in there. And those are actually reusable. You can stick them in the microwave. So that's fun. It's a little tight.
You need me to sit on it?
Not now, maybe later.
Oh my god.
It had cherry juice from Poland.
Okay.
That actually worked really well.
Sometimes I have good ideas.
Boom. All right, y'all, I'm feeling sufficiently prepared. No, it's not the perfect system, and it's basically just like survival level stuff, but 2 months of food in one barrel for my entire family, you know, that's a good thing, and that doesn't count for any of the other stuff that we've got. Obviously, we've got the garden growing, we've got the animals, we got chickens that make eggs every day, and thanks to Mary's heirloom seeds, quick shout out, I got 166 different packets of open pollinated nonsense that I'm very much looking forward to putting in the ground. I'm feeling pretty good about all this. Now, obviously, there are things that are missing from this, primarily fat. Fat is difficult to store really in any form for truly long term, and by long term I mean like more than 5 years. And when you're getting into things like expiration dates on, you know, Spam, for example, it's probably longer than what the can says, but I don't really know if or when I'm going to use this. What I'm probably going to end up doing is building 2 more just like it, inspect them once or twice a year, make sure nothing's got in, and then every couple of years, just, you know, as long as everything's still stable, just crack one open and use what's in there. Now, there's a million different courses of thought on this. You know, some people might have a problem with it all being in one place, but we're a third of a mile from a road in a rural area in a spot that nobody would really look. But if I really needed to, I could coat that whole barrel in cosmoline and bury it in the ground. It'll be fine. And no, I still don't consider myself to be a prepper. In all honesty, putting up dry goods was something that 100 years ago would have been done and normal, and really the thing that we have now is just better freaking technology to make it last longer, so you might as well take advantage of that. That pack of 60 Mylar bags was like 24 bucks on Amazon. It came with the oxygen absorbers. That barrel was $25 off the marketplace, and we got about $450 worth of food in it. So 500 bucks for 2 months of emergency food. You really can't do better than that. You buy them little pre-made buckets of emergency food supplies or whatever, it comes out to like $4 to $6 per meal. And like I said, there's different schools of thought on it, and people are going to argue, and it doesn't really matter. The point is, for a relatively low investment cost, I've got insurance. That's all this is. It's just insurance. I don't know what the future holds. And a lot of people think, oh yeah, you know, so-and-so's a prepper, where, you know, they're always worried about this, that, or the other. But in reality, I ain't worried about anything, because we're good. I don't really have a reason to worry. For me, that's worth the investment. And you know what? If nothing else, it's just an activity to do together as a family. I know it wasn't my wife's favorite thing in the whole world.
I'd rather be reading my book.
Well, you better figure out how to eat paper when society collapses. She don't eat that much anyway. But regardless, it's something that you can do together. You don't have to do it all at once. It can be just a hobby. And you know what? If you never need it, good. Things are going well. But if you do, you'd probably be pretty glad that you have it. What I'm trying to get at is, not all of us are crazy. Well, entirely. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. I love you. God bless. Yeah, I guess I am going to have to move that at some point. Hadn't really thought that all the way through.